Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy, along with my good friends Twilightus Magic and Mr. Ben. I'd like to thank y'all for stopping by. I apologize for that reset. Oh well. Anyway, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Thank y'all for stopping by. About the only thing I really have in news, though, is just the Brony State news, the usual stuff. And, yeah, pretty quiet week otherwise. Anyway, the A movie for this week is Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 movie. Pony 1 is Mystery on the Friendship Express. The B movie is Manitou's Shoe. And Pony 2 is Sleepless in Ponyville. So, if you want to stop by for our weekly movies, stop by this Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's the 10th of January for our movie night. We'll be showing these movies. And we also have our European Encore on Saturday, the 11th, at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, stop on by. Hope you have fun. If you enjoy good movies and good people, here's the place to be. Let's see. Yeah, that's all we have for news. So, art or music first, people? Okay, it's pretty clear. I'm not even going to bother counting from beyond here. It's pretty unanimous. We're going to the art first, folks. Oh, one thing I want to bring up really quickly. Do expect lag because Lord knows it's probably going to happen. And I swear there he is. Yes. Which one do I want to go with first? We have a lot of we have a more arts than we have been in the past few weeks, folks. We've got about 18 pieces of art, and surprisingly, this is also one of the more we have multiple pieces from one artist or from multiple artists. So each one is going, or most of these artists are going to have about two pieces. So yes, we're going to have we have a lot. But my time wasting aside, I see him in the audience, so I'm not going to keep him waiting. These first two comics are by Naderang. Funny story behind this before I go on. I got a request from someone earlier in the week to show these. But he contacted me and said, that one's old. Try showing this one. He suggested a few, and I said, I'll take these two. So that's why we have two of them here. Nate, I am sorry if I brought in private material that wasn't supposed to be disseminated. But anyway, let's start with the funny one first. This one is titled No Means No. I'll get back to that point concerning notices, or what was it? What's the word I'm looking for? Audience members requesting me stuff to show. I'll get back to that after I get through these comics. This one, for what it's worth, was made not long after the Dragon Quest. Come on, Fluttershy, you're overreacting. Yeah, it's your turn to watch the dragon migration with me. You owe me. No. If some pony tries to push you out the door, take him to the floor. Yeah, that's a nasty cracking sound.
Oh my! Sorry, Rainbow Dash. I don't know what came over me. Are you okay? Dash?
Crushed spinal column. I'm afraid you'll never walk again, Rainbow Dash. By the way, look at Pinky here. I love the fact that you had her dulled out and straight maned. Oops, that's the wrong chart. I just broke. It's just broken ribs. You'll be out of here by tomorrow. That's funny. No means no by Naderang, folks. And useless doctor. Oh my gosh, young Discord, that's a terrible pun. This next one is titled Core of the Apple. It's a work in progress, and I'll be showing this one as it is released. Now, he's already got, I think, uh, you can answer this one, Nate or Rang, when you get there, but it's like four or five, four pieces already released. I'll be showing those as the weeks go on here, and it's still a work in progress. But I just wanted to show the first one here today. Core of the Apple, page 1. Okay, thank you. Prepare for the feels, and I am not kidding about that. And I apologize for the size here. Bloody buffer.
What in tarnation? Apple Bloom? Applejack! Apple Bloom, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm fine.
Matt. To be honest, that is something I would blame it on. But that's another point.
It's dumb. Sugar Cube, you know you can talk to me about anything. It happened yesterday, after Family Appreciation Day at school. I thought you said everything went well. Your friends loved Granny's presentation. Well, were those two rich fillies giving you a hard time again? I'll be more than happy to gallop over to their parents' house and... No, no, it's not that. Granny was amazing, better than I had ever imagined. I'm glad she was there for me. It's just... Diamond Tiara brought her dad. Pip brought his mom. Sweetie Belle, her mom. Twist, Sunny Days, Dinky. They brought their parents. They seemed so happy together. It just seemed right. Then I got to thinking about Ma and Pa. I can barely remember their faces. I hardly knew them before they passed. And, no, uh, uh, I'll never get the chance. Apple Bloom.
Very funny, Nita Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, Core of the Apple, Part 1. No, I don't try and... I voice act these because, first of all, that's been a tradition since day one. You can thank Mr. Ben for that. And second, no, I'm not trying to butcher them or make them worse than... Or, I'm not trying to belittle them. I really do try and put some feelings behind this. I read it so that for those who can't see it, for whatever reason, now you can just hear it. But something I do want to point out concerning people requesting stuff. First of all, as I have said plenty of times, I am thankful that people do request stuff. But I must have forgotten to put this in the rules when I moved from the old site. But it's but something I do want to bring up, people. There's a reason a lot of the stuff I show is only from the week before, and that's a case of relevancy. When you do send me stuff, please be a little bit aware of the date on it. I'm fine if you're still so insistent that I show it, even if it's 2, 3, 5, 10 years old. I don't care. But sometimes it is worth noting that the artist probably is going to think, I don't like that one. Why don't you show us something a little newer? It's just something to keep in mind. That's all. Anyway, now, like I said, I think you guys enjoy it just because here's some man trying to do women's voices. Yeah, that's not funny, or that was said in a sarcastic tone. Yeah, you get the point. All right. Who else has snuck in here that I... You know what I meant by that 10 years old bit. Yeah, no kidding, Matt the Shadow Man. But I'm not going there. Anyway, let's continue with the art because I'm going to be wasting a lot. I'm just wasting a lot more time. This one is by someone I haven't shown in a long time on here. White Diamonds, and her piece How Far Away You Roam. Quote, where was it? This piece was made as a gift of sorts for my dearest darling friend, the exceptionally talented Pony Dora, or Prancy Pants on DA. As the cover art for his latest work of fabulous fan fiction, How Far Away You Roam. This story is a chaptered sequel to his acclaimed one-shot, The Fruits of Their Labors, which was written as a birthday gift for me. End quote. So yes, this is a piece. This is a cover art piece. That's what I'm trying to say. I've always loved her pieces. They're very expressive, and I always like her. She's a huge Applejack and Rarity shipper. And I like this piece especially for that emotion. This isn't necessarily sad, like, crying sad. This is the kind of sad that something is weighing on you. That you have to spill at some point, but you don't want to. This would be a train for those of you wondering. All right. Definitely there, Muffinshire. All right. Let's move on. Do I want to go with that one? Nah, I'm going to go with these two first. These next two are by our good friend Alasso. This first one titled Vampire Twilight. Before anyone says anything, don't. Quote, this picture exists in the sole purpose of the very bad joke, with even more textures. End quote. No, don't go there, folks. What I love about this one is, yeah, obviously it was coming off of Bats, the episode, but I actually like that he went with the actual vampire theme, as in Nosferatu, as in Count Dracula, those kind of vampires. I like the curved horn. It's a nice touch. The red eyes, the cape. Definitely, Knit. Definitely. It's nice to meet you. All right. We have one more piece from him. This one is going to be another cute one, and that's partially why I wanted to put it in here. This one's titled CMC Airline. Quote, who needs working wings when you have friends anyway? End quote. I'm just going to kind of let this one speak for itself. Urge to hug. Rising. I like the detailing with the rosy cheeks on them. I know it's, just a small detail and very common of winter scenes, as they should be. But hot dog, does it actually look really cute on them? Yep, knit. Yep. Yeah, Alasa, I will say this. This one was uber cute. Keep making this kind of stuff. I love this stuff. Or at least, you know, don't stop making it. All right. Okay. Prepare to start your Doge inspired speech, folks, because this one is by Death Pony, titled "Such Little, Much Pink, Very Pony." Wow. Yeah, the description basically summarizes everything. I'll let you all start in on your usual what's the word I'm looking for? Your usual lines. I'm glad I got to show another one though of Death Pony's work. I always enjoy showing his stuff off. It's always uber detailed, very cute. I always love his Pinkie Pie work, partially because she's my favorite pony, but you know what? He does a darn good job with them. And I always liked his hand works here, where he puts he's petting them. Check out some of his older work for what I'm talking about. But I like that he does this kind of stuff. Again, check out his older work, folks, and you'll see what I mean by actually. This one's not only to Muffinshire but to everyone. Check out some of his older work for some of these ponies in real life stuff. You'll do it now. Thank me later. It's so fluffy. If the link doesn't work, I might have punched an extra button. Never mind. Never mind. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Do we have any comics? We don't. Not at least, not yet. That's okay. This one has a bit of a story to it. I caught this one on the DeviantArt front page 2 days ago on Friday. It was all of a sudden, bam! Here's this picture of a sculpture. I'm like, holy crap! I got to get this on my show. So this is Princess of the Night, Flutterbat by Emily Sculpts. Quote, "It's now available on eBay. The auction ends on Sunday, January 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time." End quote. The link's in the description, so I will just throw you the link now, and if you wish to catch it, now's your time. For those of you curious, that's in 5 hours and 30 minutes. It was up to like 120 US dollars though the last time I checked. So yeah, it's already fetching a steep price here, folks. But if this interests you, here you go. Yeah, you can see why I got to put this in my show. It's extremely high detailed. I love the posing that you did, Emily. Using it doesn't even look like she was posed. It looks like she's just sitting there basically. I say this in a good way. I say this as in look at the tail, folks, and look at how there's no flattening to it. There's no stand on it. There's nothing to it like that. It looks like she was just placed there just properly. I did give it to you. Yep, good. Yeah, now it's up to $227. I always like that. Throwing money doesn't work at the screen anyway. All right, I think I'm going to move on from, since everyone's just saying take my money. I swear I hate skipping people who are here. The artists who are here, I hate skipping over them, saving them for the end or something. So if you are here, participate. I will see your name in the chat if you give me multiple things like, wow, I like that. But you can't expect me to catch you in the chat, as you can see. It only goes so far. Anyway, this next one was by a new guy titled Be Prepared by Atomic Warpin. Yeah, we just got through Disney Week, so this kind of said to me, you know what? I should put this one in. I'm not going to read the description. It's basically a cover of the Disney song Be Prepared. But yeah, you can see why I wanted to put this one in. Not only just because of Disney Week, but Hot Dog does Chrysalis and her changeling army lend herself to Scar and the hyenas from The Lion King. Very good use of lighting. I love her wings. Very colorful and very bright, but not, translucent or anything. I actually really like that. Yeah, I caught you the first time, Dark 92 Enigma. Mm-hmm. Then again, I never took the changelings to be a bit more bumblesome like the hyenas. Here's the link. That's fine. Anyway, moving on. I don't think he's here. He didn't say he was going to be. So I will show it anyway. So before you guys ask, when a new episode airs and all the art floods in, I try to be a little bit more conservative with the art. So in other words, we just had the Bats episode aired. I try and to not flood my entire art list with everything from the episode. Anyway, that being said, this next one is titled Shy But Batty by Citra 360. I think the thing that sticks out to me the most about this one is the lighting. Her eyes, her wings. I love this. I love this stuff. Here comes the smooth. That's actually a good metaphor there, Retro Cheerily. I like her happy face here. We don't need her hissing and angry. Hanging with my bats. Yeah, it's not Flutterhawk, I'll say that much, Rainbow Crash. Matt. All right, moving along. Here's someone I haven't shown in a while. This one's titled Winter by Nanny J. Freak. Bees, my god. I picked this one up because it's just a great representation of winter. Inside, serene scene. You're curled up with a good book, with your warm clothes on. How more perfect can this scene get? And I told her in the comment, I like the little dolls. That's a very nice touch here. I think the Rainbow Dash one has to be my favorite. Nice and colorful, nice and happy. SB, I agree with you wholeheartedly. More randomly emphasized words. I don't know why I said that, but hey, I can join in on the fun, can't I? Lightning. All right. Let's move on, folks. Who do I want to show next? I think I'll go with these. These next two are by a new guy again. Mozakailas. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mozakai was his nickname. Anyway, I found these two when I was browsing DA, and I thought, this is one I gotta show. This one is titled Humdrum and the Masked Matterhorn. You guys probably saw this one throughout the week. And I saw it and I just like, I gotta put this one in. You can blame a certain someone, Matt, for really getting me into the comics, folks. But I saw this and I just thought, this is a great comic cover. You've got the Maniac's hair shooting out like that. You've got our heroes up top looking down on it. This says, read me, because I'm curious as to what the hay is going on here. And that's what made me pick up this picture, was partially just how awesome it looked, but the fact that this should be on a comic cover. That's why I love this one so much. Wouldn't we all, Mr. Ben? Continuing that theme, folks, I saw this one as I was asking him if I could show the Masked Matterhorn. This one is The Adventures of Philly Second, which I'll probably, if he shows any more, I will, if he makes any more, I'll probably be watching for them and showing them later. This one, too, was one of those cases of, or even if I didn't show the Masked Matterhorn first, what's really great about this one is it's definitely a good comic cover. We got our heroes and we got some new sidekicks here. I actually kind of like the concept of using the pets as either a sidekick or some sort of, or maybe like a, for lack of a better term, some sort of accessory or something. Matt the Shadow Man. Dark 92 Enigma. That's terrible. That's just terrible right there. Welcome to Through the Fourth Wall, where good comics get dubbed. No, I'm not going to continue because I'm just going to bomb it at some point. Not to mention that's just flat out imitation. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's move on. Eight pieces left. Who goes first? Oh, that's right. We do have this comic. This one's titled Bats, Supply and Demand by Foolie Guy. Ah! Oh my gosh! Fluttershy's reverted back to a vampire again! We need to try and help her, AJ! What's that? Oh yeah, sure, Twi. But could you hold off for a few more minutes? I've already made more sales in a day than we have all season. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say good on Applejack for thinking business-wise. Maybe Matt the Shadow Man. You magnificent bastard, I read your book! This one is by someone I have not shown in a long time, but there's a reason for that. This one is titled Run, Daring Run by Vardis Touch. Yeah, I've shown her work on here multiple times before, and you can obviously tell why, folks. What I love about this is the lighting. Again, a good but she uses a great gradient here. The first third of the picture has the bright sunlight, while the rest of it has the dark. The rest of the 2/3 is darkened out a little bit. This creates a good focus on our hero, but we also get these lines going into that cave, so we get a really good starting point, and the lines guide us along to where we need to look. It's actually really well done on her behalf. Thunderbolt. Take a closer look when you see it, young Discord. It's actually just her elbow. And there we go. All right. Oh, that's right. Hydrus Beta, you're up next. This one's titled Reckless Ambition by Hydrus Beta. This was one that I saw and I just knew I had to add. Forget the lighting for a minute. Something that I really like about what Hydrus Beta did to this one are the eyes, actually. They look a little bit bigger than the standard proportions, but I actually really like that because it makes them all the more expressive in this image, and I really like that. Yeah, it was a request by someone. Something like that, Matt the Shadow Man, definitely. Yeah, maybe it's just the goggles making them a little bit bigger, but you know what? I don't care. I think they look absolutely adorable. Mr. Ben. So I'm guessing this was concerning Wonderbolt Academy, the scene from there, right? Hydrus Beta. Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, let's move on. All right, this next one is by our good friend Assassin Monkey, titled "On Feather Grounds." What was it I was going to quote from here? Because there really isn't anything from the. You're welcome, Hydrus Beta. That's. I gave you my word, didn't I? Anyway, let's look at this one now. It's Assassin Monkey, folks. Do I really need to go into much more details concerning his work? Something I will say though about this one though is the fact that the Griffin in particular looks much more. I think he's gone to another level here, folks. The Griffin looks a little bit more detailed, a little bit more, for lack of better terms, advanced on his technique than what I have seen. Now maybe that's just because he hasn't done Griffins in a long time. Maybe it's because it's been a long time since I've seen his work. I do go through people's work. I really do, folks. But I like the way it looks. I think it looks really good. And for what it's worth, it looks like, yeah, pretty much what Mr. Ben just said there. It doesn't look like Gilda to me. And I know what he meant. I knew what he meant. I really like that the Griffin is about 3 times taller than Twilight. It's certainly an interesting idea. Dinner. Young Discord. All right, let's move on. Yeah, we're going to be running over a little bit. All right, these next two are by our good friend DM29. It's been a couple weeks since I've shown his work, but you know what? I wanted to show this one first, and then there's another one that's going to come along that I know you guys are just going to, you guys are going to have a good time with. Anyway, this one is titled "You'll Always Be My Sweetie Belle." Quote, "Here's another Sweetie Belle in rarity. I think MLPFIM allows us to feel that canonical siblings, though not perfect, love and cherish each other. Never mind that these are their Equestria Girls counterpart. Although the more I see it, the more I think Rarity is actually in love with Sweetie Belle's freshly shampooed curls. All the same." End quote. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there, Lines Archer. Sister Hoof Social. Right there. Mr. Ben. That's a potential, Matt the Shadow Man, certainly. Howdy, Sumi. Here's this one. And this next one, well, you know what? I think I'm going to just surprise you guys with this one. This one's titled Age Reversal Mishap. Quote, "Maybe Twilight should go back, or should give up on that apple to orange spell. All that stress can't be good for Spike. I think I like this scenario. I did an age reversal, or, oh wait, no, end quote." Yeah, I'm going to say this right now. I think Flash is the cutest one here. Why? Forget that he's adorable. He's actually trying to help. At least I will always think that. Twilight's saying, "Anything? I'm looking. Don't rush me." And there we go. All right, let's move on. And, oh, well, what do you know? We reached all but the last two. Let me make the call. Todd?
Oh god. Okay. Man, I had to shut the game off.
Which game, by the way?
I'm watching the Packers game right now.
Good deal. All right, you ready for your turn?
Yeah. Yes.
We're going to start with sour apples.
Okay.
And this
Yeah.
we have two by him this week, folks. Do you want to read along with me, or just have me do it?
Yeah. Let me get the comic up. Give me 1 second so I can put it up. Let's just both do it. We can alternate lines if you want. It's Applejack and Fluttershy for
Who
this
do you
one.
want?
um,
I prefer to do it per character. That just makes things a lot easier.
okay, you can get out. You can get Fluttershy.
Okay.
All right, should I start?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Yep. Fluttershy, look at my orchard. It's completely destroyed.
But I was.
But nothing. I told you these bats were nothing but trouble. These things are pure evil.
So can you tell us about this one?
This one was a. I basically didn't know what the heck they were going to go in the direction with the bat ponies in this one, so I literally was trying to just. I had many different versions of this one.
Hmm.
The original was supposed to have a 3 panel comic with Applejack, and it was basically going to be the same type of argument, but it was only going to be 3 panels, and like a legit bat pony was going to be stuck in a tree.
Eh.
But I decided to go against that one, and I decided this was a pretty hellish comic to make because I did this one during Christmas week, so
Oh.
I lost out on Christmas Eve and I lost out on Christmas Day to work on this. So I had to put all this, everything you see in this comic, backgrounds, the characters themselves, I had to do within basically 3 nights, which is more than it basically butchered the hell out of me. I actually stayed up until 7 o'clock in the morning working on this. But yeah, no, this is a pretty fun comic though.
That bat pony is absolutely adorable. Not only for me personally, but I think I'm speaking on behalf of the chat here.
People want me to make that into a button or print or whatever the heck it is, but I'll see what happens with that one. I'm not sure if I will or won't, but that was the first time I've actually drawn a Philly bat pony.
I would
Actually, a bat pony in general.
I would agree with them. Try. I think it would be a hot sales item now that Bats, the episode itself came out.
True, although it's not like this is the farthest I'm going to go with drawing bats. I don't I draw bat ponies, but yeah, I made this one before the episode as usual.
All right. Put this in the chat.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the next comic.
All right, this one was a fun one. It's just so fast.
This one's titled Belle of the Show, people. Sorry, I was interrupting you there. What were you going to say?
You can get the announcer and character.
Okay. Well, I can get both of them for all.
Oh, sure. Yeah, go get both. Yeah, get both. It's the same thing, almost.
And the winner for this year's Fashion Week contest is. Sweetie Belle! Wait, what?
This is a good comic.
It is. I love this one.
It was so simple it was basically me and Ice were going back with ideas. Just, I had the original idea, and then he threw in one, and then I just basically just said, "Nah, screw it. I'm gonna go." And I came from his idea. I came up with like an even better idea that was combined with my original one. But
Okay.
this one it's more simple than my other comics. The only problem is this one I did a lot more guesswork on to make the stage. I only had up until Wednesday when the preview clips came out, I only had the original Green Isn't Your Color, like the Fluttershy stage ones with photo finish. I had only those backgrounds to reference for stage work. But a lot of the stuff I made up on my own on the first panel. And then the clips came out, and I realized, oh crap, I'm screwed because now I have to redo the stage entirely for all 3 panels. Not the currents. It's just the stage. It's like the one stage is in panel 1 and panel 3. I had to completely redo that entire stage. I kept the backgrounds, but luckily I picked the right colors for those. But this was just a weird one that I did. It was just a really. It came out better than I thought it did. And I actually finished this thing on record time.
Excellent. How fast was that then?
Normally I take the entire week to work on my comics just because I start either Sunday night or Monday night, and I go every single day up until that Friday night,
Mhm.
and I'll work until the morning. But this one I got done Thursday night, and I was able to work on one of my DBZ pony pictures for once.
Sure.
First time in a month.
That's right.
But-
I was actually going to ask you about that. So that works. Are you?
No, it was good. Yeah, I was definitely pleased by this one. I mean, I don't know if the next comics are going to come out this short or this quote unquote easy, but I need a break in episodes like now.
to be honest, I think we have one coming up here shortly, but I'm only speculating on in terms of the show canon. So you might have that to look forward to.
I should. I will see what happens though, because I'm working on the next one I have right now. The episode, what is it gonna be? We're on episode 9. So the pinky, that one I'm going a different spin with it. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that'd be like a 5-6 panel comic. I'm working on with that one.
Oh boy.
It's a good one. It's interesting. I'll put it that way.
So you said you're working on DBZ ponies now?
You know the DBZ. Everybody I think in the chat knows. You know the DBZ pony series that I have, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that one I had to put off hold because of season 4. But because I got done with this comic earlier than I thought, I was able to go back and work on DBZ Babseed.
Nice.
So she's next, and luckily I got most of her done with the backgrounds. Hopefully.
Well, anything else, Tox?
No. I'm gonna go watch the football game and watch the show until it ends.
All right.
I'm gonna go look in the chat.
Thank you for your time, Tox.
Yep, no problem.
Later. Ladies and gentlemen, Toxic Mario. And here is his comic. I don't know if I got it in. All right. Now it's time for the videos, because that was the last of the art, folks. Surprisingly enough, folks, I have 3 videos this week. Only one of them is from this week, because some of them came in a little bit later, and some of them came in for another reason. So, kind of a mixed bag of everything from last year. This is the first broadcast of the new year, for the record. Anyway, I think I'm going to start with this one from Fluttershy Elsa, titled Mighty Morphin Power Ponies.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, Venus Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! You mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Caught that one at the end of after Power Ponies aired, but didn't get the message until a little later. So that's why this one's being shown. But yeah, there you go. This one comes from our good friend Hero Strain. He's been doing these theatrical trailers for the season 4 episodes, and for one reason or another, I've been unable to show them. But now I get the chance. This one's titled Flight to the Finish, the theatrical trailer.
Today, we have 2 special guests with a very special announcement. Welcome the head of the Equestria Games, Ms. Harshwinny.
I'm sure you all know about the Equestria Games. Now, you littlest ones will have the chance to compete for a weighty responsibility of your very own.
All you gotta do is show Miss Harshwinny the coolest, most spectacular, most rockin' routine, and you're going to the games. So, the winning team gets to carry the Ponyville flag at the Equestria Games. We already have the most divine routine planned. Having cutie markless ponies represent Ponyville would be unthinkable. Listen, you two. Cutie marks or no cutie marks, you'll see. The Crusaders are gonna carry that flag at the games. We need to find a new way to get under their skin. Or maybe get under their wings. A Pegasus pony at your age? You should have been flying long ago. So what if my wings can't get me off the ground. Miss Harshwini will never pick a Pegasus pony who can't fly to represent Ponyville in front of all of Equestria. Screw, if we want to win, I'm gonna have to fly. What? Maybe I can fly if I work twice as hard. See? Oh, maybe 3 times as hard.
We've got hearts as strong as horses. We've got
You're better off without me. If she's gonna quit, we don't want her, and we don't need her.
as we gallop to glory. We can conquer any challenge we're in.
What if my wings never grow? What if I never fly?
Hearts strong as horses. Hearts strong as horses.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight to the Finish by Hero Strain. In a world where bullies pester a Pegasus. Rest in peace, Mr. Fontaine. You will be missed. And finally, there's a little story to go with this one, folks. I'm not sure how it never got aired on my show. I have been sitting since it was released, though, thinking, why did I never show this one? I have been sitting for at least 40 episodes thinking, good Lord, you guys really don't care, do you? Anyway, this one is Princess Twilight Orchestral Suite by Melodic Pony. and I finally get to lay that coffin to rest. Ladies and gentlemen, Melodic Ponies, Princess Twilight Orchestral Suite. All right, let's get the new episodes, or let's get the episode set up and let's watch it.
No distractions. Today is too important. Re-shelving day. Understanding medieval Equestria goes in Oni history. Modern spellcasting, that's classics. The art of the to-do list. Actually, I kind of want to read that again. Spike, what are you laughing at?
This little beauty is my birthday present to myself. It's a fire ruby. I've been aging it for months, and it's almost ripe. Hey, you took my advice. Just use the whole floor as one big shelf.
My little pony, my little pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you are my very best friends? Hello? Any pony home? Twilight?
Is that a fire ruby? Oh, that must be at least 20 carats. No inclusions, pristine facets, and totally delicious.
If you guys don't mind.
Oh, of course. I just came by to see if you had any books on historical fashion.
Did you say delicious?
Sure did. Next week's my birthday, and this is my birthday dinner.
Start with this one.
Thanks, Twilight. I've got a feeling Ruffle Taffeta Capes are going to make a huge comeback this season, and I want to be ahead of the game. I hope it's as tasty as it is beautiful, Spike. I've never seen anything quite so stunning before. Gosh, you really like it, huh? Like it? It's magnificent. Huh. Then you should have it. This beautiful gem was meant to be with you. I don't know what to say. This is so thoughtful. Oh, my little spiky wikey. Thank you so much.
Wow, Spike. That's one of the kindest, most generous things you've ever done. I've never seen Rarity so happy.
I will never wash this cheek again.
Just about finished, Spike? Every pony will be here soon.
There, perfect. Everything looks perfect.
Not quite everything.
A washcloth? I don't get it. Oh, no way, Twilight. I said I wasn't going to wash the cheek that Rarity kissed, and I meant it.
It's over, Spike. I'm cleaning that cheek.
It's mine. Stop it.
Never!
I wait.
Happy birthday! Party time! Woohoo!
Are those for me? You bet they the hour, birthday boy.
Happy birthday, Spike. Don't you know you get presents on your birthday?
Well, actually, this is my first birthday in Ponyville. I usually just get one present from Twilight. A book.
Speaking of presents, this is from my new line of Top of the Cakes. I'm gonna make one for each of you. Wow! I've been inspired by the generosity of my little Spiky Wikey, who gave me this beautiful fire ruby, one of the kindest acts I've ever experienced.
Applejack, I can't thank you enough for this great blanket. I really needed a new one.
Come on, Spike. You already thanked me 15 times. I'm starting to get a little embarrassed.
I know I keep thanking you guys, but I'm just so grateful. I wish this party could last forever.
Duh! The party can't last forever because you have to go to Sugar Cube Corner because the cake said they have a special surprise for you because it's your birthday!
No way!
I said the party couldn't last forever, but it doesn't need to end right now!
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Cake.
There's the dragon of the hour. Happy birthday, Spike.
Thanks.
When we found out it was your birthday, we couldn't resist trying out a new recipe. Sapphire.
Wow. Thank you so much. Man, first I get a bunch of great presents from my best friends, and now an amazing sapphire cupcake. Oh, what a day. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Cheerilee.
That's okay. What's got you so excited?
Pinkie Pie told me I should come see the cake, so they could give me a treat because it's my birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, Spike. I wish I had something to give you. Oh! Here you go.
Wow, really?
Sure. Every pony should get fun gifts on their birthday. Have a great birthday, Spike.
I wish every day was my birthday. Pinkie Pie mentions my birthday to the cakes, and I get a cupcake. I mention it to Cheerilee, and I get this great hat. I wonder. Hey there, Lickety Split! That's a pretty cool ball you got there. Did you know it's my birthday? This is unbelievable! Hey, Junebug! It's my birthday! Happy birthday, Spike! Aren't you gonna give me something? You know, like a birthday present?
I don't have anything.
Well, how about those flowers? I'll take those.
Spike! Sorry, Junebug. I think Spike might have gotten a little carried away.
No problem.
Happy birthday, Spike! What are you doing? You're out here demanding gifts now?
Wow, you're right, Twilight. I don't know what got into me. Thanks for snapping me out of it. I better go give Cheerilee her hat back.
No problem. See you at home later?
Sounds good. Bye! Who else has a present for Spiky Wikey?
Wow, what a rough night's sleep, Spike. I had the weirdest dream.
Yeah.
I can't believe you. Where'd you get all this?
What happened? What's happening to me, Twilight?
I don't know. Think back to last night. Did something happen? What did you do after I saw you?
Well, I went to talk to...
Spike! Huh? You went to talk to who?
Oh, I don't remember. Hey, can I have that globe? You're not using it, right?
Huh?
What about this book?
Spike, I'm worried about you. You're usually not so grabby.
My arms aren't usually this long either. What's happening to me?
Well, now, what seems to be the problem?
This is Spike. And something's wrong with him. He used to be half this size, and he keeps trying to take things that aren't his.
All right, then. Let's just have a look-see, shall we? Will guy not feeling too good? Who's the brave will boy? Huh? Who's the brave one?
So, what do you think, Doctor?
Well, I think I know what the problem is. He's a dragon.
That's not the problem. He's always been a dragon.
Oh, well, that would explain it. Listen, I don't know anything about dragons. I know about baby ponies. Maybe you should try a vet.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Well, I'm flummoxed. You bring me a dog, I've got it diagnosed in seconds. Snake even faster, but to be honest, I've never seen a real live dragon before.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Sit.
Thanks anyway. Come on, Spike.
He is starting to mature. Of this fact, I am quite sure.
Mature? So he's just growing up? But that doesn't explain why he keeps grabbing things.
A dragon's heart is prone to greed. A steady diet to make growth speed. Then, the resulting bigger size only makes their hunger rise. If this trait should go unchecked, if Spike continues to collect, more growth will certainly occur. He is going to turn into a monster.
You mean the more things a dragon collects, the bigger and greedier he gets? But how do we stop him before he's completely out of control?
If his monstrous ways you wish to impede, you must prevent him from practicing greed.
Get away from her, you brute!
Spike, what?
You're not getting my scooter!
Spike, what?
Hey, Spike! Check out this amazing broom!
Spike, what?
Come on, big boy. Look at this incredible broom.
Spike, what?
Fight all you want. I'm not letting you out. Oh, Spike, I just reshelved this room. What now?
Now, who in Ponyville would steal my apples? For that matter, who would steal my leaves?
Applejack, help! Spike's running wild and I need you to lasso him.
Oh, that's a good one, Twilight. Sweet little Spike running wild. What a laugh. Twilight, get my rope.
that?
Sounded like Fluttershy to me.
Fluttershy? Fluttershy!
I'm up here.
What happened?
I was helping my squirrel friends with a dance step, and all of a sudden, a giant, rampaging dragon stormed through.
That was Spike!
Spike? But why would Spike steal my chicken coop? He just pulled it out of the ground and filled it with a bunch of apples and stuff. That sounded like Pinkie Pie.
Come on, girls.
Back! Get back!
Pinkie Pie, stop giving him cake!
I'm not giving him cake! I'm assaulting him with cake! How dare you take the cake!
He's completely out of control. Who knows where he'll go next?
Perhaps some more ruffle.
Put me down, you brute!
How rude. Don't worry, Rarity. We'll save you.
Put her down right now!
If you wouldn't mind, that is.
I mean it, Dragon Boy!
We'll be ever so grateful if you'd be so kind as to possibly consider.
Drop her, Scaly! Hey! Not some sort of common slice!
Girls! My cape!
Look! The Wonderful!
Oh, be quiet.
You've got nothing to be proud of! You steal every pony's things, terrorize the town, and use me as a weapon against my own friends! Which, as horrible as it is, I can almost understand because you're a dragon and all. But this is a crime against fashion! Oh no, you are not getting this gemstone! This was given to me by my dear friend, Spiky Wikey, the kindest, sweetest, most generous dragon ever. And it is too precious to me to give to a greedy old beast like you!
Here, Rarity. You take it. It would mean even more to see you happy than to eat it myself.
I don't know what to say. This is just so generous.
Oh, what now? I suppose you'll be eating me or something. Spike? You're the rampaging dragon?
Somebody do something!
On it! Rarity, I need to tell you something, just in case we don't make it! Spike, I just have to tell you how absolutely proud I am of you.
Proud of me?
Yes. It was you who stopped, well, you, from destroying Ponyville. You are my hero, Spiky Wikey. Mwah!
Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned a great lesson about friendship. Well, you might think that it would feel good to get lots and lots of stuff, but it doesn't feel nearly as good as giving something special to some pony you really care about. Well, I learned that it truly is better to give than to receive, and that kindness and generosity are what lead to true friendship. And that's more valuable than anything in the world. Well, almost anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, secret of my excess. So, obviously, opening lines, opening comments. Just letting the lines roll by. Still, we should run like it is. Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one, Rain Shadow. We'll get there when we get to the end, but yeah, I do have to. I agree with you on that one. Hold on to that thought, Matt the Shadow Man. We'll get there when we get there. Yeah, a lot of the stuff you guys are bringing up, the more important things, we'll get there. Don't worry. This is Babble with Bronies after all. All right. Nice thing about this episode, folks, is we can kind of go from start to finish, bits and pieces, scenes by scenes, a bit of a different way. I'm not going to be bringing up specific points from I'll be bringing up more specific points from the episode, but we can go in a more logical, flowing manner. So, I want to discuss the opening scene before the the introduction, the song introduction, the scene with Rarity and Spike. What do you guys have to say about that? Matt. That's actually kind of the point that I wanted to bring up was your line there, Twilight is Magic. Sort of. I've seen my fair share of people complain about this scene, and I want to clear it up the way I usually do. You can agree with me, you don't care. People have called that opening scene out because they feel that Rarity is, charming Spike out of the ruby. Let's look at this from a more real-world perspective, folks. Imagine you have a friend. Yeah, I know. Now imagine you have a friend who has something you want. I'm just going to use a video game, like one that you want but you don't have. Now imagine if your friend said, I've enjoyed this game, but you know what? I'm going to throw it out. I know what you meant, Matt. But I'm going to throw it out because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to be, I'm going to throw it in the garbage. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to essentially destroy it. Now imagine that would be Spike. Now you, and yeah, hold that thought, Twilight is Magic. You say, wait a minute. I want that. If you're going to be throwing it out and not wanting it, can I have it? And he says, sure, here you go. And yes, something I do want to point out, it's a small detail. Rarity never asked for it. She only commented on it. Yes, she had a strong influence to it, as in the sense of she liked it, but she never asked for it. As such, yeah, as Twilight pointed out, Spike was the one who gave it to her. As in, he could have said, no thank you, but he gave it to her. Now, as I do want to point out, yes, from my analogy, obviously, Spike isn't throwing it away. He's using that gem for a reason, to consume it. That's fine. But the point is on the destruction point. Spike eating it would be destroying the gem, and your friend throwing the video game away would be destroying it. Essentially, it's just... that was the key. That's what I'm trying to say. Right there, Matt the Shadow Man. Right there. Yeah, I pointed that out, but I think that was just a matter of lag, or, the difference in times, Rainbow Ash, but yeah, I said it. Anyway, we're probably going to be getting through this one actually rather quick, folks, because, yeah, I take that back. There is one point that we're going to get to that's going to take a lot of time. Like I said, I know it wasn't the best analogy, but I did clear things up that throwing the game away is not the same as eating the gem. I want to make that as clear as possible here. Throwing the game away is not the same as eating the gem. The key to it was, as I said, the notion of destroying whatever the object was. The game gets destroyed by fire, and the gem gets destroyed by being eaten. That was the key. But, yes, let me make that as perfectly clear as possible. Yeah, I get it, Wither King Brony. Anyway, let's move on, folks. There is a point concerning Spike's growth spurts that I want to bring up to you guys. But what do you have to say? What do you have for hypotheses concerning Spike's growth spurt? Whether it be concerning dragon lore or the growth themselves, what are some ideas you guys have? I actually do have a hypothesis behind that, Matt the Shadow Man. But I want to hear you guys' first. Yeah, that's a good point there, Kildever. Interesting. That's another good point that I'll bring up a little bit later, Dark 92. But let me ask a more specific question, folks. Why did Spike grow, and why did the dragons of Dragon Quest, I'll jump ahead a little bit, why did they not grow? Why did they not get bigger? Oh, by the way, before I go on, there is something that I do want to say. I do like that in this show they actually give their dragons some lore, some things to work with. A lot of times I have seen my fair share of if dragons are included, they're just there, as in we're expected to know. And kind of one of those, it just goes along with it. So I'd give this show a little, some kudos points for actually expanding on their lore, actually explaining some things. Okay, that's a good point, Rain Shadow. Certainly. And that was something I was going to bring up, Twilight is Magic. I'll just say it now since it's been said. Yeah, one of the things that I think is we don't know if dragons are solitary or what's the word I'm looking for? More of a pack animal. I don't think they are. I think they're more solitary in nature, but it's exactly as Twilight is Magic points out. And kind of Rainbow Ashes and Twilight is Magic's blended together. There aren't a ton of resources to go around, and what resources there are, they can only get so much. We have young dragons in the wild, and we have adult dragons in the wild. So imagine being an adult dragon and having all these puny young dragons around. Basically, they're going to take what they might steal from the young dragons, given their greedy nature. So here are the adult dragons. Adults age naturally with time, and the young dragons who are aging with time. I know the tenses there might be a bit confusing, and I apologize for that. But anyway, with the adult dragons hoarding most of the resources and the young dragons holding only so much, they can only pretty much grow with time. So eventually that one day they will grow, or they'll eventually be able to get their own hoard. But the point I'm trying to make here is nature keeps the young dragons in check. Spike, on the other hand, he is the only dragon in a town with a lot of stuff and no checks. That's the key here. There are no checks. So, as I think it was Rainbow Ash pointed out, suddenly now his greedy instincts are activated. And he starts hoarding. And he starts hoarding. And he starts hoarding some more. To the point where he starts growing. So of course now, as the hoarding and growth continues, it becomes unchecked. Hence the episode. Yeah, essentially. This kind of behavior is exhibited in wolf packs. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just research wolves. You'll notice that the alpha wolves, the alpha male and alpha female, they're the only ones who are allowed to breed in a wolf pack. Now, all wolves experience a sexual drive, but to keep them in check, the alpha wolves will bite and basically keep them in check with threats, bites, and physical violence. Basically, you can think of it like that for the wild dragons. It could have been really anything with her, King Brony, whether it be all of those gifts. Twilight was unintentionally doing him a favor by only giving him one book, something he didn't want something he didn't want as himself, something he didn't want as a rational self. Book, I don't want that. So those instincts were never activated. So like I say, it could be any gift at the birthday party with her, King Brony. It could have started anywhere, but pointing to which gift was it that started it is a trivial point. Yep, SB, it's a good point. Work with me here, Rainbow Ash, but that was my point. Concerning the wolf pack. That was actually something I wanted to bring up here, Matt. Yeah, did anyone else notice how, as Spike grew, he lost his vocabulary and he, as Matt pointed out, became extremely single-tracked? Did anyone else also notice how no one recognized him as he grew, save for Twilight and everyone she told? But did you notice how Fluttershy at first didn't know who Spike was? Did anyone else notice how Rarity had no clue who Spike was? What are your thoughts on that? It was an analogy, Iwa, but yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's something worth noting, Thunderbolt. I wouldn't say so, Rain Shadow. Look at All's Well That Ends Well. The dragon there spoke pretty fluently. He spoke well enough. We understood him. I think that natural growth will not stunt their intelligence, but this greedy growth will. A lot of stuff going on here, folks. I can only keep up so well. Yeah, there's a difference between selfish and stupid, but yeah. True. Yeah, that is true, Matt. But I'm only going off of what evidence I've seen here. And as I said, both Rarity and Fluttershy did not recognize him. While certainly panic can blind a person almost to the point of literally, it's just an interesting point. Definitely. Again, yeah, Matt, you're not incorrect. And that's partially my point, is I think that's more metaphorical than it is literal. Because, yeah, a purple and green dragon in a town full of ponies. How do you not know that's not Spike? But, yes, I think it's, like I said, more metaphorical than anything. That as one hoards and hoards, as you put there, Matt the Shadow Man, they essentially become something that they are not, or at least not as perhaps you remember, or as an entire society even remembers. But that's the point I was trying to make, was that it's a clever metaphor. Yeah, Zombie Nixon, yeah. I was trying to avoid that, but I think that was an unavoidable thing. Episode 20% cooler. I want to bring up another point here, folks. Do you think that this greedy girl Spike is Spike's adult form or not? Kandar, you. And how would that be for everyone saying no and it would be different? How so? How would it be different? Semantics, Mr. Ben. Not semantics, similes. Synonyms. That's the word I'm looking for. Believe it or not, folks, I would go so far as to say, yes, I do think that is his final form. I'm going to be going out on a big limb here. But the big thing you guys seem to be pointing out is the wings part. I want to notice in Dragon Quest, all of the ponies, dragons, all of them, whether they're the teenagers or the adults, they all have wings. Certainly it is possible that Spike could get wings in the future, because that's part of the growth cycle, that all dragons do get wings. That's certainly possible. But you would almost think that he would have some sort of indication of wings. Whether it be just stubs or little wings that maybe don't work. But you would think that there might be some indication of it. So, with that in mind, I would go so far as to say that's where the evidence, to me, of course, lays in the fact that that is his adult form. As you guys said, and as I said, he could get wings, but I don't think he will. And I actually kind of hope he doesn't, because I think it would be neat to have a dragon without wings, essentially an earth dragon. An entire species of dragons that just don't have wings. He could certainly become that big. I don't see why he couldn't. Obviously, it would take a lot of time, but certainly I don't see why he couldn't be as big as an adult dragon like any of the others. Spike Dragon God. We'll get there when we get there. Jeez, we're going to be running over a little bit here. Oh well. Well, I can't believe how much time has passed, folks. We've hit our 2-hour limit, but there is still one point that I want to bring up. Actually, two of them. So, whoever's streaming next, I am sorry. But, let's get the white gorilla out of the room here right now. I want to bring up Spike and Rarity's relationship. But before I do that, there is an animation error I want to bring to your guys' attention. And that's the opening scene versus Spike's memory. When he sees that in his adult form, he sees the Fire Ruby and goes into that flashback. There's an inconsistency in how those two are played out. What do you guys have to say about that? Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We'll be doing that retro cheerily, no doubt. But, back on topic. Why don't I replay the scene, folks?
Then you should have it. This beautiful gem was meant to be with you.
I don't know what to say. This is so thoughtful. Oh, my little spiky wikey.
Okay, that was the scene, or the opening scene. Here is Spike's memory.
Here, Rarity. You take it. It would mean even more to see you happy than to eat it myself.
I don't know what to say. This is just so generous.
That inconsistency, folks. Yeah, some of you have been pointing out here. Let me scroll back up. Yep, Spike's point of view, how he saw the scene play out. Things happen differently than when you remember. Yeah, you guys are pretty much hitting my notes on that. There was a point that I do... How did that person put it? I guess you guys really more hit it. I'll say what I wrote anyway. I was reading someone's interpretation of this scene, and they had this to say about it. Quote, and this is a paraphrase. In the first version, he's simply giving her a nice ruby. In the second version, his memory, he's giving her his heart. This also ties in with the extra lines. This ties in with the extra lines and how it plays out. So either Spike is giving us his perspective of how things went down, or he's creating a slightly altered, more romantic version. Yeah, you guys hit the point. Like, it was just something worth bringing up. But now I want to hit the big one. Let's talk about Spike and Rarity in terms of their relationship, whether as a couple or not, just whatever. What do you guys have to say about them? Something like that, Thunderbolt. Yeah, something like that. Symbolism. And yeah, actually that brings up a good point. It could just simply be for time's sake that they did the memory that way. As in, from a production standpoint, they just said, to go through that again is going to cost us time. So why don't we just create this slightly altered version? And there we go. That's actually a good way of looking at it. Yeah. Their friends getting a little more of a romantic one. Something like that. Yeah, certainly this can go on to the case of shipping everywhere kind of thing. And to be honest, folks, I'm going to shock one person in particular. Anybody who knows me knows how I feel about slash fiction. No, thank you. But one of the reasons why I actually like Spike and Rarity getting together as a couple, whether in show or not, in off air, is because we've seen these characters. We've seen these characters from the beginning, and we've seen them develop as characters for even at this point quite a long time now. We know how Spike feels, and then this episode comes along and provides us this basically shipping fuel. One of the things that I have always praised this show for is the fact that when it establishes something, it goes with it. It tries to it will conclude it. So to establish what they've done with Spike and Rarity is certainly something I would like to see concluded. Now, this might be more along the lines of some of the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just my headcanon, I suppose is the better term of it. So I look back at this scene, or at all of this, with a more conservative, neutral standpoint. And certainly I do think you guys are hitting a mark here, concerning that it could be, yeah, no kidding, Matt the Shadow Man. It could be a case of a more platonic relationship. And that certainly does lead to a lot of good, not only storytelling episodes, but it can certainly lead to great character development. However, if they do go down that route of actually making them a couple, that makes things actually a lot more interesting. I came across an interesting revelation I'd like to share with everyone here. One of the reasons why I am all for putting these two together as a couple, again, I doubt that, for what it's worth, before I go on, do I see the show actually making them a couple? No. No, I don't. But I can dream, can't I? And of course, watch that get shattered. But the interesting revelation I'd like to share with you guys is, I was dwelling upon what would they have to do to make it work as a couple? What would they have to do? And the interesting thing I found is there are actually three entities to consider in the relationship: Spike, the individual; Rarity, the individual; and Spike and Rarity as a couple. It's kind of that metaphor that I've used before concerning love is like a butterfly. Hold it too tight and you crush it. Too loose and it flies away. Kind of like that. The three entities now have to consider each other in a lot of their own decisions. I'll just use Spike's perspective. He has to now balance his personal life, his individual life, with his relationship. He has to balance his all of his choices between what benefits himself personally and what benefits him and Rarity as a couple. The same goes for Rarity, without a loss of generality here. Imagine all of the episodes and stories, whether whole stories or partial points. Imagine all of those points that you can make out of that. Those would be really interesting points, and certainly very mature ideas on those two's behalf. That was one of the reasons why I actually kind of like that. And the more I thought about it as well, even more so, that could certainly work for them as a platonic couple. Certainly. But I suppose it's more of a matter of degree. Because someone who you like as a strong friend is not the same person that you love as a love interest. And certainly, you guys talk of maturity as, just merely aging. Certainly. Something I want to bring up. In order for a relationship to thrive and work, you need relationship as, how do I want to put this? As just a being. Not necessarily physically, but more mentally. So a relationship, whether platonic or romantic, certainly already has to have a mature individuals in there. So, but to have that romantic relationship, to make it work, requires even further maturity on their behalf, especially more so than the two would ever get as individuals. I'm going to pretend that the interspecies relationship point is a moot point. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not gonna care about it. Yep, that's the point I brought up, Matt. Certainly. The great thing about these two is, like I said, we've seen them since day one. They were, for what's worth, blank slates. But we've watched them grow as characters, so now imagine having them grow together. Sue me. I'd call that evil, but that would assume that was wrong. Where is she ever aware that it would not work out, Diamond Heart? Which was my point, Mr. Ben. Yeah, it's never been mentioned that it wouldn't work. There's a difference between it not wanting to work and it not being physically able to work out. Okay. I think we've hit most of what we wanted to hit. So why don't we go wrap this up? The episode overall, folks, what do you have to say about it? Rarest Spike for the win. I do like this episode. I don't think it's the best one of season 2, but I don't think it's going to, how do I put this? I don't know where it's going to fall in the end. But I do think this is a very good episode. This is like Cutie Mark Chronicles. Something that I do like about this episode, though, is that, as I said, it expands on dragon lore. It expands on Spike. It expands on Spike and Rarity's relationship. It does a lot of good, this episode. And I do think it is a bit underrated within the fandom. Most people... I haven't seen too many reactions of this. Most people are, mixed. Your usual good. Some people say it's bad. Happens. But, yeah, it's a very good episode. I highly recommend this one. Young Discord. We'll probably be touching on shipping further we get down the road, folks, at some point. Rainbow Ash, I wasn't referring to Spike at your service. Just like humans, Matt. Whenever genetics say to. All right. Very funny, Rain Shadow. All right, I think we can wrap this up here, folks. I'm going to do a little bit something different here. I got into a conversation with a friend of mine, and he suggested, why don't you tell people the synopsis for next week? It's going to make things a lot easier on yourself. So, yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do next week in full detail. Next week is an interview with Perry Dodo of Galacon. She was the one who was originally supposed to be our Galacon interviewee. Well, that fell through. But I figured, you know what? Let's bring her back on, see what she has to say. So, Perry Dodo interview next week. Come with your questions. And, just enjoy the show, I suppose. So, from all of us here at Babble with Bronies, I want to thank you all for stopping by, along with my good friends Mr. Ben and Twilight is Magic. I am Everlasting Joy. Stop by next week, and until then, farewell.